Good morning. Looking at the close of the US markets, and unfortunately we did see more selling coming into the markets, and a lot of that activity in the last 2 hours of trade, especially in the last 5 minutes of trade, where we saw the markets really losing momentum. The Dow at the end of the session down 166 points and the Nasdaq down around 117 points, but that's a 1.5% slide. And it really was a lot of those technology stocks that still were under pressure again overnight, still waiting on any results that are going to come out towards the end of the week on what the US government's proposal will be as to how much foreign entities will be allowed to hold of many of the technology companies in the US and how they're going to manage that over time. Now, we also saw a bit of movement coming into the oil and energy markets. The weekly stockpiles showing once again a bigger than expected drawdown in stockpiles of unsold energy products, and that's a concern going into the summer driving season in the US because we're only a week away from the July 4 break, and that's when everyone hits the roads and we see that consumption lifting. So we did see that oil price continuing to lift up around 2.6%, back to around 72.40, with the highest closing price being listed on the NYMEX futures contract since the end of 2014. And of course that helped the energy sector higher, not only the big guns but a lot of the oil and energy producers and also refiners doing well in the overnight session. If we have a look at the retailers, a bit of a mixed bag there, as well as the banks were also a little bit mixed, and we did see some of the healthcare stocks coming under pressure. Now, there was one stock in the manufacturing space, and that was ConAg, coming through their share price coming under pressure. They have said that they've acquired Pinnacle Foods. Now, Pinnacle Foods has a lot of brands that we know here in Australia, but not many that they know in the US. So there's a bit of concern about the price that they've paid for that. They say the deal is valued at around $10.9 billion US dollars. In other news, we had the announcement that the Supreme Court Justice Anthony Kennedy said that he will retire from the US's highest court. They are looking to replace this position very quickly. The Trump White House coming out and saying they've got a list of 25 and they would like to put it through as soon as possible. That would be good for businesses because we do need to see a Supreme Court that can hand down decisions, but we'll have to wait and see what the outflow is and how long this will take to occur. Now, if we have a look at the other commodity markets, we saw the gold price down around 0.5% or around $6 to 1,253 US an ounce. Having looked at the Australian market, yesterday we were down by 2 points at the end of our trading session. We did see a bit of joy coming into some of those infrastructure stocks after the infrastructure data that came through yesterday in line with expectations. Saw some very good gains coming through in engineering construction, rising by around 2.8% in the March quarter. We are expecting to see further growth coming through in that area with a strong boost for some of those infrastructure stocks. And lastly, looking at the Aussie dollar, holding around that 73.32 US cent mark, continuing to slide in the overnight session.